This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Welcome back to another episode of Rooted Latinas, a podcast where we share our journey of adapting from a Latino household to life in the U.S., discussing challenges, transforming obstacles, and celebrating personal growth. We are your hosts, Mariana Hernandez,
Jamie Tovar,
y Rocío Hermosillo.
yes, and we are sponsored by Infinite Resources, y'all.
Yay! Shout out to them. How are you, ladies?
Good, I guess good. You know, I don't know about your guys to say how it started, but ours started just informing ourselves a little bit more about the immigration bills, you know, trying to pass and all that. And the four of them, I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you guys have heard as well, you know, but the transporting undocumented people, you know, that one is one where, you know, if you're driving with someone that's undocumented, you could get a Class C felony, if I'm correct. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one. And then the in-state tuition exclusion. Do you know how that one works?
No.
Have you heard about that one?
No, I haven't.
Basically, if, you know, you're trying to go to a public school, like DMAC, Iowa State, whatever, and you don't have, you know, you can't show that you're documented, you would have to pay out-of-state tuition.
Like international student, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, there's that one.
Even though you've been living here all your life, and this is
Yes.
all you know, they're going to treat you as if you're an international student.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the law enforcement acting as a federal agent. So that one would be wild.
That one
You know?
is
Meaning that a police officer can be like, oh, let me see your documentation. And if you don't have any, then they can be like ICE.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
hell no.
You could be, the deportation proceedings, you know, all that could you imagine? And lots of racial profiling at that point, you know?
right.
What do you do? And then the other one would be the E-Verify, where all the companies would have to start doing E-Verify. Right now, companies get the choice
Yeah.
whether they want to E-Verify documents or not, you know, and this would make it so that all the companies would have to, you know, and we're not experts, right? In this, we just know that it hits close to home.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is when we're like, all like, we all need to like, okay, what can we do? How do we help? You know,
Come together.
yeah. What have you guys heard?
Sheesh, Jamie, I was going to say, what a way to start your Monday. That is
Yeah.
a little heavier than, you know, I had thought about. Pero ahorita que me estás comentando eso. So I got an email yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday.
Okay.
And that's where I actually first heard that there's a bill that's going to potentially be proposed for the state of Iowa to vote on whether yes or no. But esos son los cuatro that currently would impact immigrants,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. The community.
And I needed a pause porque I'll be honest with you guys, I'm privileged in that sense que yo no me tengo que preocupar de eso, pero I think about how when we first got here, like my parents were undocumented. I was the only one in my family born in the U.S., even though I'm not the youngest.
Yeah.
Everyone else was born in Mexico. And so I never knew que ese papelito, just being born on the other side of a man-made border, would give me just automatically more opportunities. So pienso en eso and I'm like, dude, si eso estaba pasando hace años for my family, how would I feel? And I think about it, like, gracias a Dios, it's not yet a thing, right? It's not yet in place. So tenemos tiempo right now to be like, hey, hold on, the state of Iowa, the people of Iowa, we're not cool with this. And this is not how we want Iowa to be. So I find it, even though it's a tough topic to talk about, I also see like the light in it of like, this is our time to really shine, to come together and really make an impact. Porque, like, be honest, how many of y'all, you don't have to answer, but just think about it. How many of you guys have voted in your local elections, for those that can? How many of us have, like, school board, your city council? I think about your House of Representative, your senator. So many times we're always thinking about the presidential election, which usually that's only at the federal level of laws that can impact us, when really it's our local laws, our local elections that make the biggest impact on our day-to-day. So For any of you guys listening, if you can vote, please take into consideration voting every single year, every single time. Pero a lot of it is educating ourselves. Porque yo también, like y'all, yo no sabía de esto, that this was already coming up, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, as leaders in our community, es algo que tenemos que estar atento, you know?
I think to add to that too, it's the perfect time, or it's always the time to come together as community, as allies, whether you're a business owner or a leader in the community, because even though it might not affect you, but it's affecting the communities out there that provide, that work in, you know, certain businesses to provide anything for us to live on a day to day. And then also to add that even if you can't vote, like, reach out to the family members, to your friends that can be that voice for the community that can't vote for now. But even just saying, hey, I'm not sure if you're, you know, up to date, if you ever voted, but this is your time to be the voice for us that can't, you know, for example.
Yeah. And what's more surprising is like the associations that, you know, when you go talk to them for their support or what they can do by, you know, calling the senators, whatever, to try to stop this, they just say that they don't get involved in immigration.
Because it's too controversial.
Yeah. Insane. You know, like,
Oh.
like they don't, like, you know, these are people that, like, could you imagine how things are going to change, you know, if any of these get passed, you know? They don't realize the effect it's going to have, you know? And I don't feel like they will. But, you know, like Latinos here, we look at everything we're doing for the community,
Right.
you know?
And we're 8% of the population right now. We're the only immigrant community that is growing in the state of Iowa. So yo pienso, I'm like, what message are y'all trying to send? But that's why I also think it's not just us immigrants, but we also need to find allies, kind of what Mariana was saying, outside of that also get the picture that at the end of the day, we all bleed red. Like, we're all humans. Y al fin del día, un documento, whether it gives you the right to do something or not, like that should not signify someone's class or rights they have or privileges they have, etc. And that's, I think, makes me so frustrated and angry. Pero yo sé que hay mucha gente que they might not be an immigrant and they also would support the community.
Yeah.
So I think about, okay, estamos nosotros, pero aparte, who else do we need to have be a part of this conversation?
Yeah.
I cannot imagine our community in a world where, imagine if these do pass, like coming home when your children are telling you, my friend is no longer here because they're afraid. Or, you know, like, you're not seeing the friendly, you know, faces that you're seeing day to day at work because they're afraid. I even think about us, you know, that we have we help the community every day, buying housing, for example. Like, that's the American dream. And imagine us not seeing those faces anymore because they're afraid. And that's very sad. Like, to come from, you know, Iowa, what do they say? We're Iowa nice.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine just changing that for a loop, like from one day to another, and the sadness that it's going to bring to that community.
Yeah. I've already had like friends reach out and like they're worried. They're scared.
Yeah.
You know, if I haven't heard from somebody that should be worried, it's because they don't know what's happening. A lot of people don't know that this is happening.
So where do you think someone that, you know, is barely learning about this, or maybe they're like, I want to learn more, get involved, what should they do?
Yeah. I mean, they should reach out to one of us because we can probably know the right people, or, you know, help them find the resources, you know?
Yes.
But at the same time, we're all learning together. We're all like scrambling. Okay, what can we do? You know, we have 2 weeks to try to stop this, right?
So son en 2 semanas. Okay.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Yeah. So, you know, I would just, reach out to one of us. We'll connect them to the right people, you know, look online too. Use that phone.
TikTok, YouTube, Google.
Whatever platform you like to use, there's information on there. Google it, you know, look it up.
Yes.
I know that some of that stuff is hard to understand, but if you don't understand, ask questions. Don't just like stay wondering.
Absolutely.
You know?
There's a quote that I think of every single time I hear of something like this. And I shared it with the team yesterday. It's like, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So when we don't speak up about the things that may not matter to us and it matters to someone else, we're just letting that go by. Like, this is important to you, whether you're an immigrant or not. These are the people that you said, Mariana, who might be helping you buy a house, who may be the one changing your tires or have the car dealership, construction company, janitor, barista, recruiter, leader, like whatever that is. Like, these are human beings, and that's what I just want to get across to everyone that's listening. Like, somos humanos, y al fin del día we need to treat each other as such. Just because I'm a little tanner than you doesn't mean anything. And it gets me so frustrated, but I hope one day it can change that. I don't get judged based on the way I look. Pero we know that that's not the real world. And so I think we need to share our stories, share who we are, that we're not just whatever negative comments they think or make about immigrants. Like, we're truly here to make it better, to make our families better and continue that legacy of opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. Very
Yeah.
well said.
You know, I was looking up on who can help and stuff, you know, stop this. It's like business outreach could be, you know, reaching out to large employers of Latino and immigrants in rural Iowa, you know, like meat packing plants, right? Like Tyson Foods, JBS. There's somebody in there that can be calling these senators, you know, and trying to stop this. Same with large construction firms. The, what is it called? The Iowa
Association of Realtors.
Yes. They in their hands, they have the power to make a huge impact.
I'll be honest, Jamie, yo no tenía idea until I got the message yesterday that Iowa Association of Realtors was one of the biggest donors to some of the senators and House of Representatives that are sponsoring the bill. I was like, hold on, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge
That was a
shocker.
huge aha.
Yeah.
And it made me feel almost like, who's on that leadership team?
Right.
Do we have an opportunity to step up to be a part of that so that they can hear our perspective? Because I like to think that it's out of ignorance. People don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
For sure.
And sometimes they haven't interacted with someone to understand. So I feel like if you have a story, everyone has a story. Like, I feel like everyone needs to share their story.
Yeah. And, you know, these are businesses that are like, oh, DEI and, okay, like, you know.
You're like,
get
but
real.
really though?
Like, yeah. Yeah. So
It's
it's
makeup.
infuriating. Yep. You know, how did you guys get reached out to sign
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Yes.
tell me more about that? So we're trying to collect realtors votes, Latino realtors. Okay. What
Yes.
else?
Well, that's why I was kind of curious. And again, I did get it. We all signed it. It was super easy. You put your name, last name, and you sign. Like, así de fácil. There's a link. The thing that came to mind is like, should it only really be Latino realtors? I feel like it should be open to all realtors that feel that passion, because they're going to be like, oh, it's not just them. It's everyone here that overall supports not doing this. So that was going to be the only thing that I was thinking about in that aspect.
Yeah.
But outside of that, si conocen a alguien, corren la voz. Like, just let everyone know. I'll share a link on my social media if you guys would like to sign it. That way we can collect as much signatures as we can so that they can truly hear what the people are saying.
Yeah. So it's a petition going around, and they wanted it signed by today, basically.
Yep.
I'm trying to see on here. But yeah, just telling the you know, Iowa's considering a law that would charge anyone driving an undocumented person with a felony in the state. A group of us in Des Moines are trying to stop this, and you know, we learned that the Iowa Association of Realtors is the top donor for the representative that could stop this bill from becoming a law.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yep.
You know, so and then target areas would be, you know, realtors in like the Sioux City area, you know, Storm Lake, Hampton, Waterloo, Marshalltown, Ottumwa, West Liberty. Yep. You know, so if anyone listening has a connection out there, you know, they, especially knowing a realtor or whatever, they can send them our way. They can message us.
Absolutely.
Find our information. You'll find us somewhere.
Yes, you will.
We're online. Google us.
And I know this topic is very different than what we usually talk about, but
Yes.
we felt it was just so important to bring it to light, just to share with our community, que es lo que está pasando. And again, we just found out. So I think there's a huge opportunity for all of us to really step in to learning more what's really going on that would impact us. Gracias a Dios, we have certain leaders that reach out and do that for us, but it doesn't excuse us not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
With that, I just wanted to last say, and I was curious if you guys have any last words to share, with the community of, what would this mean to you, or if this were to pass, or why it's so important to you for this not to pass, just to give people an idea of like what this would feel like.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, there was a point where I was undocumented, gracias a Dios, like you're saying, now, I'm a U.S. citizen, but I still have a lot of friends and family that are undocumented, so like I just can't, it's just one thing after another, just, I don't know. It's going to affect a lot of us, I feel, it's going to affect businesses in the construction work. Who is most of their construction workers? Who's out there,
I don't think Iowa thought about it. Really.
No, they haven't. Latinos are the ones out there that you see doing the hard work, like the construction, working on homes, working on the streets, floor, like
concrete.
Yeah.
Filling all of our potholes.
Exactly. All the things you think about, Latinos are the ones buying homes right now, too.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and I think I think of it more of like a broader aspect, because even just having children, or even I think of my mom, that right now, thankfully she's got her green card and everything, but just for the color of her skin, she can stop. Like,
the racial profiling.
Yeah, I mean, that's just very saddening for me, because you don't want to be out there in your city, in your hometown, in your home, right, that you're driving being scared, For me, I am a DACA recipient, so it's almost like it's a privilege, but it's not a privilege, right? Because that's a whole another topic on the political side of things that still hasn't been fully like addressed. But even myself, it's like you just never know, Another thing is, my skin color is fair enough, but for me, I represent as brown, like, so being able to see the community be in a very scared mindset right now, for me, like, my heart goes out to the whole community and just really everyone that this can affect. So it's time to come together as one and, reach out to your allies and see how we can continue to stop that.
Yeah. And it hasn't passed yet, so we still have time. So this is not a for sure thing, but what will make it more of not a for sure thing is if we get more signatures, more people out there, make the phone calls, send the email. If you want a template, I'm happy to create one for you if you reach out, so you know what to say or how to say it. And I think we have some scripts already.
Yeah. If you work for a big, large company, those companies can make differences too. So,
Yes.
For sure.
So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this little different side of Rooted Latinas for our episode. Pero it's so important for us to be involved and to be leaders. And so with that, I'm excited for the next time we meet and talk about, hopefully we're going to be sharing good news.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, ladies.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Yes.
This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.